All right, so the big focus right now, of course, is on the verdict on the death warrant to be issued or not against Nirbhaya gang rape case convicts. Remember, the court has reserved its order till 3:30 p.m. and we're going to get you live coverage as we await that order from the court, from the Delhi court. Let's go across to my colleague Nalini first up, who's been tracking developments. Nalini, even as we await the order, just for the benefit of our viewers, just recap what happened today inside court.
Well, quickly taking you through the arguments that have happened today in this entire application that was filed by Nirbhaya's parents seeking expedition of the death warrant that was issued to them. There was the amicus curiae Vrinda Grover who was present. There was also the prosecution along with Nirbhaya's parents and of course the lawyers for the convicts. While the lawyers for the convicts have clearly come forth and stated that they wish to file a curative petition in the Supreme Court challenging the death sentence, the amicus curiae on the other hand has come forth and said that curative petition is not an option because they do not have any fresh legal grounds and there is no error apparent on the face of record for them to go forth in a review petition. The only legal remedy available to them is that of a mercy petition before the president, and that still remains to be filed, so it's not pending as of now before the president. In addition to that, even the prosecution has asked for a death warrant to be issued against them at the earliest, along with the plea, of course, being made by Nirbhaya's parents. At 3:30, quickly, Shivani, is when this order is going to be pronounced. Just in a few minutes from now, we can expect this order will be pronounced before all the four convicts who are being produced through video conferencing before this Patiala House Court Judge Satish Kumar Arora, and in just a few minutes from now this order will be pronounced. We are waiting out and watching for whether or not a death warrant will be issued against them.
All right, it is, of course, has been a long-standing demand of the parents of Nirbhaya who've been fighting this long battle for justice. I want to quickly introduce also Ruzan Khambata, activist joining us, Taira Hassan, Brinda Adige, all noted women's activists. Our legal editor Ridham Anand Bhardwaj is also joining us. Ridham, before I come to you, let me quickly go across to Ruzan for her quick view on this long fight for justice. And you know, the last time when the death warrant wasn't issued, Nirbhaya's parents, Ruzan, were extremely disheartened. And the question was raised on making a mockery of the judicial system by these last-second appeals. And even today, as the council has said, when there are no fresh grounds for a curative petition, you know, it's a lot of time passing and delay tactics that have been employed.
Unfortunately, the truth which is coming out is that when it is a fast track and it is taking 7 years, and the way it has been evolving and the way the law is getting misused, and unfortunately again it is happening that these rapists, you know, they're enjoying themselves through the tax money of you and me. So I'm wondering that I appreciate that our judiciary is a reforming judiciary, that we believe in reforming, but at what cost? At the cost of our Indian citizens who are seeking for justice. Second important point, that after looking at all these things, tell me that even if in fast track it takes 7 years, who is going to trust the judiciary? So now judiciary should take, just saying things is not going to happen, that everything has to be time bound. Okay, now do something where it is time bound. For example, I'll just give an example. For in traffic, you have made everything time bound. So here, I think we now require shock treatments. Otherwise, we are not able to stop these rape cases. In fact, if you see, there is a figure that in India, every 1 hour, 4 girls get raped. Forget the molestation. Molestation, all those figures are pretty higher than this. So if this is what is happening, in fact, we all were hopeful that after Nirbhaya, when the new laws came in, the execution implementation happened, we were happy that now our girls, our women would be safe. But unfortunately, forget the freedom of the girls. Currently, we are asking for protection. The government is saying that they will save us from terrorists. They will save us from Pakistan. Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. But today we are afraid. We are afraid of what is happening around us. We are afraid that even in schools, we are not safe. In colleges, we are not safe. Even in temples or religious places, we are not safe. So where are we all going? And yes, I should also accept one thing, that the society requires to be changed also. We don't only expect the government to do. So this is now a matter that everybody has to pull in. Otherwise, I always say that this is not a fight. This is not a fight between a gender. It's not a gender fight. It's a fight between good and evil. And so now it is highly required that everybody comes in. But
you know, some examples, Ruzan, have been set by very fast track conviction under the new POCSO Act. And those are things to look at. But you're absolutely right. As far as the Nirbhaya case is concerned, already it has taken 7 years, longer than 7 years, and it breaks the spirit of people. But let me just go across to our legal editor as well, because we are awaiting that judgment, that order, in fact, from the Patiala House Court, which is going to decide finally whether the death warrant can be issued or not. And that is really the step that Nirbhaya's parents are looking forward to, because the big question is, when they won the legal battle, when everything has been proved, for the common person, it is baffling as to why the execution of that punishment should take as long as it has.
Absolutely. Shivani, let's give you an update that's coming in from inside the courtroom first, and then we'll go to the timeline. Any moment now, that order from the Patiala court by Sessions Judge Satish Arora is going to come out on whether death warrant will be executed against the 4 remaining rapists in the Nirbhaya case. It's been 7 years and 22 days, too long a wait for Asha Devi ji, who's been fighting for this for the longest time, and her husband Badrinath ji. Let's also tell our viewers that inside courtroom there was a sort of talk between one of the rapist mothers and Asha Devi ji. Asha Devi broke down into tears. From inside the courtroom, as we are telling you, updates came in of the public prosecutor saying already 2 weeks have been given to them. There is no longer any time for a curative to be filed. As we are speaking, let's tell our viewers, the judge is yet to pronounce the order. Video conferencing of the 4 rapists who are at Tihar will also happen. They will also concurrently hear what the judge has to say. Is this the final countdown that India has been waiting for? Is this the final closure? We remember on December 18th, when the review plea hearing was there in the Supreme Court, there was hope on the faces of the parents because they believed this could be the end of the road for them. When they came to the Patiala court on that very day, and the court said 2 weeks more time is being given to exhaust their legal remedies. The one thing Asha Devi ji said, and Tahira, you've heard this before, Abha Singh has heard this before, Ruzhan has heard this before. They had said, are there legal remedies only for the rapist? What about the legal remedies of my daughter? Was she treated in a legal manner? We remember the gruesome, heinous rape, the tsunami of protest that broke out across India after that. Today, as we wait for that death sentence, India continues to say, hang the rapist. In a case that has seen for the past 7 years and 22 days, non-stop delays, we have to see what the court will say. Inside the courtroom,
Right.
Let's tell our viewers what happened a short while ago.
Well,
The public
yes,
prosecutor
Rhythm, I just
said
want to, for the
law
benefit of
officer
our
has
viewers,
already gone
update
ahead.
that we are, of course, on standby for that order to be pronounced. Nalini, my colleague, reporting from the Patiala House Court. The judge is yet to arrive, so we're going to keep a very close eye on that. Let me also take that opportunity to quickly go across to Taira Hassan, because there are larger implications for what everyone has been talking about as far as this case is concerned. That even if in a test case like Nirbhaya gang rape case, it takes as long as it does, then you can imagine what happens in other cases.
Yes, of course. I think this should set a precedent that it has already taken too much time. 7 years a long time, and the long struggle of Asha ji. So this time, I think why we are talking of the human right of these rapists. He is rape convict, and a heinous crime. He has committed a heinous crime against Nirbhaya. So there should be no
that's not the only question, Taira, unfortunately. Nobody wants to deny
this is too much.
Legal
That's
rights
what
or
I'm
human
saying.
rights
Don't
to even
misuse
convicts. The problem that has happened is that lawyers in this case, or the convicts in this case, or those representing them on their behalf, just keep coming up with these pleas at the end minute. They have wasted time in the past. They've had ample opportunity to do so.
Convict.
And they're using these
no
appeals,
human rights.
curative appeals of mercy plea, only as a delay tactic.
After committing heinous
That is the
crime,
problem that people are saying.
this human right, he has no human rights. After committing heinous crime against Nirbhaya, after women violating her body, there's no human right.
All right.
He is a rape convict.